Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the WCS Premier League Group D. Now, in game number 1, we watched Hellokitty fail against Ryung. What do you think is going to happen in game number 2, axslav?
You know, he failed, but he also did a build that was kind of almost destined to fail if it was scouted. So it wasn't like he misplayed the build. He played it very well. It was just the position he was in once Ryung scouted it. It wasn't going to work. So I think that being said, we really haven't seen how good Hellokitty can play from a more even position.
So you think we're going to be seeing a less cheesy type of build coming out here from Hellokitty?
You know, this guy's strength is unpredictability. I have no idea what we're going to see from him. He's actually a very diverse player. He can play a lot of different styles. And so I don't think Ryung has any idea what's going to happen either.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm really excited about in the next couple of games of just, you know, can Hellokitty possibly pull it back? I mean, who knows? He's really, really pumped up about this matchup. He didn't really work out so well in game number 1. Ryung played incredibly solid, as Ryung always does. But can Hellokitty's unpredictability create volatility and possibly go overload in game number 2?
You know, it might. It might. I really think he was trying to hard counter Command Center first opening. Given how popular that is and how macro-focused of a player Ryung is. I mean, when's the last time you've seen Ryung do like a one-base build? It never happens. So, Daybreak being a map where Command Center first is just such a popular opening. Proxy Gate, a great way to potentially take advantage of that. The second map, I'm not sure what it is quite yet. It's going to be made very, very soon here. I don't think he'll do the exact same opening, but he may do a different type of cheesy opening.
He could be playing mind games. Do the same exact build again.
Ryung's like, there's no way he'll do it again. I'm going to go Command Center first. There's no, he's going to be too embarrassed after,
after game number 1, there's no way he's going to do the same thing in game number 2, so I think I should be a little bit more safe, go Command Center first, and then all of a sudden Hellokitty breaks out. Proxy DTs with carriers, I don't know. But it looks like game number 2 is going to be on Akalon Wastes.
Oh. So this is another pretty macro-focused map, but Terrans usually open with Reaper here. And in fact, that's exactly what Ryung opened on Daybreak. Ryung, Ryung probably knows Hellokitty is known for just a mad diversity of openings. And if you're a Terran player playing against a Protoss, you have no idea what they're going to do. Reaper opening is pretty much the opening you want to pick, because you get a fast scout, you can harass, you're pretty much going to always win against any cheese, because you'll scout it and then counter it. And you'll never really be too far behind, you know?
But it's also a really great map while we start this game, because it is both our players are ready. It's also a really great map for those types of cheesy builds, because you have that little rocked off position right now at the third base, and you can actually sneak so much back there because nobody actually really scouts it too often.
That's true. That is true. Ryung may be insanely diligent with scouting, though.
That's true.
Given what
After game number 1, I think Ryung's I'm gonna look out for some stuff here.
Extra paranoid mode.
He's gonna 6 scout. All right, guys. So game number 2 here underway. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner, our red Terran player from Team Axiom. It is Ryung. And spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, our blue Protoss player. Blue, like the type of cheese brie, but he is our blue Protoss player, Hellokitty.
Some Rogue Fort. Mix some various cheeses in. This time he's not setting a probe out, so it's not going to be a proxy gateway.
I saw the probe move just for a second to go put down the 9 pylon. I was like, oh yeah. All right, so yeah, it looks like he's going to be playing with just a little bit, more standard today, and I think that's exactly what he needs to do. Hopefully he's still pumped up. I mean, losing game number 1 still. I mean, this is a best of 3. And, if you lose game number 1, now you have to win the next 2 games. So it's an uphill battle already, and now it's a little bit more of an uphill battle, but maybe he's going to rise to that challenge.
He very well might. I kind of want to see him, honestly, I have to say, I want to see him do a proxy Oracle build. So many Terrans say that build is insanely strong, and not only do I know that Hellokitty can execute that build very well, but I also am kind of interested to see how Ryung defends against a proxy Oracle build, because this is something that a lot of Terrans complain about.
It's really difficult to be able to get prepared for Oracles just on the off chance that somebody actually built Oracles, and have a very standard build that's not going to take a detriment from being ready for Oracles.
That definitely is true. There's not going to be a super fast proxy. Second pylon is going to go down in base. In fact, Put it at the top right so you can see any dropship coming in a little bit faster. Ryung got his barracks very fast. He actually cut an SCV to get the barracks at 11. This isn't insanely unusual, but it means that he wants to make sure he has that Reaper out a little bit faster, has the Marine out a little bit faster, so there's no way he'll lose to any type of proxy shenanigans very early on in the game.
Now double gas here grabbed by Hellokitty. Cybercore on the way. Pylon hiding out in the top right-hand corner of the base here. Possibly just to scout out dropships from later on, or possibly also to hide a little bit of technology.
Ryung being very diligent in his scouting. He probably noticed that there's 3 probes on both gases. He's also noticed there's a lot of chrono boost saved up.
He also didn't notice that pylon in the corner, so he also notices that there's only 1 pylon in the base.
I think his SCV might have seen that, didn't it?
Nope.
No, okay.
Just scouted right past it. So Twilight Council now going down here for Hellokitty.
You know what he's doing? He's looking for the proxy Oracle because he only saw 1 pylon.
Exactly.
He's thinking 6 on gas. It's got to be proxy Oracle, right? If there's only 1 pylon in the base. But really, he's going for a DT rush. And this could really catch Ryung off guard.
He's scouting everywhere. He's got a Marine, a Reaper, and an SCV.
Really wants to find that potential proxy Stargate. Now he's like, I don't know what's going on. So he's going to play very safe command center in the main, which is what you should do as a Terran if you don't know what your opponent's doing. Just try to defend 1 base.
I like the positioning on this Stalker as well. It's guarding the ledge that Reapers normally jump up instead of just guarding the ramp.
Look how paranoid he is. He's literally scouted almost 100% of the map. He's like, I know there's something out there.
And you know what the shame is that he was just half an inch away from actually scouting the pylon that he's looking for so desperately.
He does notice there's no expansion. That's actually a very nice advantage for him, and it's not going to be DT rush. It's actually going to be straight to Blink.
4-gate Blink Stalker play.
Oh, now he knows exactly.
The Reaper comes in. Reaper still hasn't seen the Twilight Council. Does see the 4 gates, though.
I mean, yeah, the timing is going to give away exactly what's going on. He knows it's a 4-gate Stalker build from here on out. I'm curious to see how Hellokitty can make this work. I mean, Ryung's going to, pretty much go straight to tanks after maybe 1, 2 Widow Mines. And tanks are such a great defense against Blink Stalkers because their range really mitigates the mobility.
Once again, going straight on into that 1-1-1 build, going for the starport. I mean, he sees 4 gates, and this time he actually has his reactor up a little bit earlier than I think last game. So he's going to have enough Marines and a bunker ready already.
First proxy pylon going down.
Oh, he knows so well. Oh, Ryung, you are so smart. Throws down the Widow Mine at the ledge of that 3rd base, as well as putting the bunker inside the base. Very, very standard play against Blink Stalker.
Of course, if you're a Terran player and you know your opponent's going Blink Stalker, the best opening you can do is actually the exact one Ryung did. If you go for a lot of barracks early, the Stalkers, yes, you might have enough units that they can't straight up fight you, but they can pick away at your army, kill 1 or 2 units, and using Blink Micro, they're going to avoid losses. But if you use, 1 or 2 Widow Mines, some bunkers to keep them back, and you go for tanks, once you get a couple tanks up, the Stalkers can't approach you because it's just too much damage in a single shot. It's an instantaneous attack, so it can't be dodged with Blink. Where's he going to position the tank? The tank positioning is so important. If the Stalkers can pick off the tank, then the attack can continue, and Hellokitty can do some great damage.
But if it's too far away and too far removed, then it's not going to be able to do that much. Widow Mine goes off and actually...
Blink dodged it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of splash damage on him on the ship core. Was aiming at a Stalker. Of course, the Stalker used Blink to avoid the attack. Reaper might poke in a little bit later to try to get a probe kill or 2. Militia Corps scouting in, sees the defensive layout. Hellokitty will probably go straight for a Nexus, now seeing how well defended his opponent is. I don't think he's going to try to warp in more Stalkers and really continue the attack. Probably going to go for containing expansion. Oh, he's trying to get maybe a potential time warp on the high ground and pick those units off if Ryung gets too close to the edge. Oh! Militia Corps too close to Widow Mine. There is a proxy robo.
Around. Looking for weaknesses here. Now the Widow Mine's down. He knows he's got 40 seconds if he wants to go back up, but there are 2 siege tanks already just kind of hanging out right there. He's going to go for the weak supply depot.
Ryung is more than happy to sacrifice that supply depot. Does not want to overextend his defense. A 3rd tank is out now, and as long as Ryung positions his units carefully, he's confident.
The Widow Mine's actually picked up by the medevac and now going to be going across the map.
Oh, that's a great counter. The Observer is on Ryung's side of the map. The Widow Mine could do great damage. Remember, Hellokitty is on a single base with only 25 probes. That means that even killing 3-4 probes is a really big deal. Stalker's poking forward to front. He's going to look for a couple SCV kills. No tanks quite in range. First tank is shot off. And Hellokitty backs away. 1 SCV, maybe 2, are turned into little blocks of ash.
So many siege tanks starting to build up here. He has to make sure he doesn't get into the same situation as game number 1, where he just allowed Ryung to build up off one base. Too many siege tanks would be a little bit too much for him to deal with, though this time he's got a much better economy until that Widow Mine gets there.
That Widow Mine is almost to his base. Hellokitty not building more probes or expanding, continuing to try to just contain Ryung and pick off units wherever he can. Medevac now heading slowly towards the main base.
Oh, but there's Stalkers there to intercept. Are they going to be able to get it? They do! The Widow Mine goes down, and it's going to burrow at the last second, but now he can't actually move that Widow Mine anywhere. That one Stalker will pick it off, and now is able to rally the other 3 Stalkers back with the main force.
Great defense by Hellokitty.
Hellokitty, well played.
That Widow Mine, if it unburrows, is going to die instantly. So it's just a standoff there. One Stalker has to stay back and defend. Hellokitty warping in more and more Stalkers.
Hellokitty Stalker just has to play guard duty for the rest of the game. He's going to hear all the glorious battles that his friends will have later on. Oh, possibly trying to go for that siege tank. Does not actually get a lot of shields taken out, but I don't think a single Stalker did fall there.
There's a little blue goo there, so one Stalker did fall. Siege tanks, of course, kill Stalkers very quickly.
They do that bonus damage against armored.
You know, Ryung has such patience. He knows that, he knows Hellokitty's still on one base. All he has to do is wait until he gets an overwhelming number of tanks, or he gets stim, bio, as the medevac count grows. The Terran army hits a certain point where Blink Stalkers just are no longer able to actually fight against it. Hellokitty's hoping Ryung it moves down too hastily.
And he's also mixing in equal parts Marauders as well. Marauders also very, very good against Stalkers, and this is just pretty much a kill any type of armored unit's composition. Slowly pushing out, trying to grab his natural back because he's already got that orbital command center ready. And he's going to be quite successful. Oh, the Mothership Core is out of position and gets caught by Ryung. Time Warp did go down, but unfortunately it was just not enough.
Hellokitty in a much better position than last game. However, he's still very far behind. A lot of Stalkers, though. He's going to threaten to come into the main, but there's a tank, a bunker, and a horde of bio.
Ryung is just so smart. He knows that he was making a small vulnerability over there, so he wanted to try and bait Ryung into going in there, and meanwhile, using that shroud of his own base, move his own army to possibly intercept all those Blink Stalkers from going up there.
Such great tank position by Ryung, not overextending, making sure tanks cover the other tanks. Stimpack is now done. +1 is now done. Combat Shields is now done. The upgrade list for Terran is getting to the point where Blink Stalkers just cannot match it. SCV's transferring down. Ryung's now on 2 bases. Hellokitty still on 1.
42 to 26 in the worker count, and income is starting to get to the point where it's being doubled by Ryung.
Not a spot where Hellokitty wants to be at.
Loses that proxy pylon.
Ryung not wanting to leave his base for a threat of a potential base trade against Blink Stalkers. Knows he's ahead, wants to make sure there's no chance he loses the game. Instead, can be very methodical. Controlling space, slowly taking more and more of the map over while he counters with drop play.
And I really, really like this. He is going to go for that drop play, and it's going to go right up around the top corner of the map. Just barely missed that that proxy pylon down there. So Hellokitty is actually going to be completely oblivious to this. Doesn't have any forces back there. Actually took out that Widow Mine and moved that last Stalker forward too.
Oh, the defensive squad, they said enough defense. We're pulling the goalie. We're heading in for the power attack. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work. You can't power attack when your opponent has more guys on the field than you. This is not a good spot. Hellokitty trying to push forward to get something aggressive going on. The medevac comes into his main though.
And it's going to try and do as much damage as possible. The Stalkers are trying to engage over there, but here comes that medevac going to be able to pick off as much of those the workers as possible, and they are doing so much damage over here.
Hellokitty retreating. His main is only the probes trying to fight against Stim Marines with +1 a combat shield and a medevac.
Everything is being completely slaughtered. All of the workers pretty much are killed here for Hellokitty.
He's all in now. Hordes of Stalkers charging forward.
Being completely shredded by those siege tanks, but they're doing a pretty good job until then. But the Stalkers falling so quickly. GG by Hellokitty.
Ryung just absolutely walked all over Hellokitty.
Hellokitty, you know, played valiantly. Did pretty well in game number 2 in the beginning, but Ryung's positioning, Ryung's ability to be prepared for pretty much anything, unmatched.
One thing I have to say, if you play against Ryung, you know, if you're one of those guys who matches him every day on ladder, don't try to one-base this guy. One-base Protoss just doesn't work against him. His scouting is too good. He's too methodical in his defense. Just very deliberate play. Like, not a single moment did he overextend.
Yes.
So yeah, it's so often to see Terrans move the Marines a little too far forward. Time Warp goes down and 5 Marines go down and it snowballs, but Ryung never once.
Loses a couple of SCVs here and there, loses a supply depot, but he knows exactly what he wants to try and, he's fine with losing in order to get the advantage. Saying, you're putting all of your cards on the table here, I'm just gonna wait it out.
Great play there by Ryung.
Great play indeed. All right, guys, so we're gonna go to our next match. But before then, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. I am schamtoo. Join with me is axslav, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.